welcome to the very first episode of Gravel Riding with Andy.
Hello, Grandy.
Grandy.
Grandy Andy.
Grandy, I love that.
Graveler.
Let's call it that, Grandy. Grandy and Michelle. And I'm going to throw over now to Grandy, and he's going to explain what gravel riding's all about.
So for me, gravel riding is all about just getting outside and being free and feeling safe. I mean, where we are now, there's not much traffic, non-existent pretty much. You're out in the open outdoors, trees, koalas, kangaroos, the whole works. It's the whole Australian adventure. It's beautiful. And I think like I said, for me, it was about getting into gravel was getting off the road. I'd had a few episodes with cars and pedestrians that I didn't want to repeat. I've never really looked particularly good in Lycra, and my mountain biking career came to an end when my son decided to do what he called a tabletop, and I tried to follow him and ended up, quite frankly, on my backside, where it was quite sore for weeks. So I've never really gone back to that, and I just thought when I first came to the Adelaide Hills, I wanted to keep riding, I wanted to keep fit. I couldn't do two things that I had been doing, and I kind of just went, well, I'll get a bike that can take me on these dirt roads and can still get me around where I want to go. And that's how I got into gravel, and since then I've never turned back. And for many people my age, I'm 54, they've done bike riding on road bikes, they're not that keen on it anymore. The mountain bike scene is just not for them, it's too aggressive and too dangerous. And this is the next best thing, and the beauty of these bikes is you can go wherever you want with them. They mainly come with, most of them come with lots of mounting points that you can put gear on. So if you want to go bikepacking and extend that gravel adventure a bit further, you can. And today we've got probably three of the pretty much basic gravel bikes they're out there, kind of a wide spread of them. I'm on what's called a bomb track hook, carbon fibre. I've hammered this bike, I've been all over the place on this bike, including Fox Creek jumps and different downhill, mountain bike sections that I probably shouldn't have done, and it's survived. It's pretty much a bomb-proof bike that will go anywhere for me, and for me it has done. The beauty of it is it's pretty quick for a gravel bike. It's obviously very light because it's carbon fibre, and it can fit different types of tyres and width of tyres on it, which we can get to a bit later. The one that Serafina's on here is this Surly Karate Monkey. It's a beast of a bike.
When I was riding, I'm like, I can ride over anything on this.
This will go anywhere. So this is snow, sand, water, mud, anything.
Snow?
Snow, anywhere, it'll go anywhere, this bike. It'll cycle over anything. It's got mount points all over the place. It is the doyen of kind of long distance mountain biking. It runs very big fat tyres, not as big as a fat bike, but they're like 3-inch 3 tyres, 27.5 by 3 tyres, so they're pretty thick. They're pretty heavy. This bike isn't made for speed. It's made to just get you there, and it's like a Sherpa tensing, if you like, of like the Nepalese mountaineers that carries all your gears and get you there. Michelle's bike, on the other hand, is state-of-the-art electric bike, e-bike, and this has become really, really popular more recently with, again, just trying to get people out there. A lot of people there's quite a few people that are anti-e-bikes or for various reasons, but I think it's fantastic. I think they get people out there who otherwise wouldn't probably get out on a bike. But also it just gives them that ability to go further and go beyond themselves as well a little bit more. The only fear I have with an e-bike is if I get on one, I'll realise how it's a lot easier than riding uphill on a carbon fibre or a metal bike, and I'll never get back on this again, and my physical form will deteriorate.
And you used to do road riding as well, but now you were saying earlier you prefer the gravel biking?
Yeah, so I used to road ride about 10 years ago. Loved it back then, and then I took some time off for a whole heap of reasons, got busy with work and that sort of thing. Moved up to Crafers and decided I wanted to commute to and from work, but noticed we were getting a lot of potholes on the roads and that sort of thing. So decided to get an e-bike so it wouldn't be so hard to climb the hill back home. And also wanted something that would absorb some of that, those potholes and bumpiness basically. And so this was the bike I chose, and when Andy said come out for a shop ride, I started riding this out there, and there's no turning back now. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's fun, isn't it? Just being away from the traffic and just being out here, and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Yeah, being in sort of place. So is there a particular bike that if you're a beginner gravel rider, you bought that as your first bike, is there one that's best suited? Like if somebody's watching and they go, I've never ridden gravel, I want to get into gravel riding, I'm loving the sound of this, what would you recommend? Is it one of these bikes?
There's a range of bikes. Obviously I've got a particular brand that I sell and we have in the shop, but there's different makes of bikes, different styles of bikes, and obviously price as well. But I think if you're getting into it, you look at a Norco Search or a Giant Revolt, I think is the name of that bike. I don't sell them, but they're really, really good value bikes. Introduction bike of the Bomb Track, the Hook is absolutely a sensational bike. And the thing is with the Bomb Tracks and the Surleys and the Salsas and those kinds of gravel bikes that I sell, they're built for purpose. Their DNA is gravel and bike packing. So the way that the frames are built, the welded, the forks, the way the bike is, the geometry of the bike is designed to go over roads like this hard. So whereas some of the other bikes, the Giants and Treks, even some of the Specialized, the lower end versions, they're a grandiose road bike. So they do have, you know, they do have sometimes have a bit of faults with their frames, which is just, you know, just what it is. But I don't think, you know, even if you've got a bike that's just a hardtail mountain bike, you can go and do some gravel on it. I mean, this is pretty much what you're on now. Yeah. Is an old school hardtail mountain bike. There's nothing. The only difference with this is that the forks, obviously the clearance and the size of the tyres. You know, in terms of the wheels, that they're big. But when you look at it in terms of a design, it's a hardtail mountain bike. So you can go. You know, gravel isn't just exclusively for a carbon fibre $6,000 bike or an e-bike. It's for any bike that can get out there and it's got enough width and form on its tyres and it can get you there.
And so the level of fitness that people need if they're just starting out as well, like do people need to be fit? How would you describe that?
Well, I don't think I'm fit, and I ride very slow and I just enjoy being out. I don't care. I mean, I do have a Garmin and a Strava thing and I do look how far I've gone, but I don't care really about the time. These bikes aren't, and this one particularly, even this one in some respects, they're not really made for fast speed. They're not really made for really gunning it for, you know, they're just not. They're there. They're a pleasure machine. They're just there to take you as slowly as you possibly can. You know, in your own cadence, your own time, and your own whatever fitness level you've got. But for me, I mean, I think just, you know, obviously where we live in the hills here, there's a lot of hills, hence its name. But if you want to get into gravel bike and you're in Adelaide, like the city dirt loop around the city is a 25k, nice, flat, nice, lovely ride and pretty safe as well. You know, there's a couple of roads, but it's pretty safe. And that will you just need to do that and just get out and do it. But I don't think you need, you know, an enormous amount of fitness to get where you need to be. You know, you just do it incrementally and a little bit at a time. And like I say, you know, just be aware that 50k on a bike is quite far. You know, 20k is quite far if you're new. So just be aware of that and maybe just work up. You know, Vic Park, going around that on a few times on a gravel bike will get you fit.
And I just have to say as well that when you're on a road bike and you do 50k's or 100k's, that's fine. But when you're on a gravel bike going off-road and it's very different. So like, yeah, 50k's is like doing, I don't know, 80k's on gravel.
It is, it's different. And the hills are a grind because you know, there's a different way of riding the bike because obviously when you're on gravel, if you stand up in the saddle when you're going uphill, your wheel's going to spin at the back. Yeah. So you transfer it to weight is a bit different. Yeah. Whereas on a road bike, if you're on the asphalt and you just go up it, you're going to go up it. If you get up on your saddle, you're going to go. Yeah. But these bikes are, you know, they're like I said, they're designed to be rugged, reliable, and get where you want to go. You know, in your own pace. There's no, you know, for me, there's no, you know, no reason to go super fast and race. Yeah. On our short rides, we have an eclectic mix of people who come with us, all different fitness levels, all different ages. We have a couple of guys that I call the Kelpies, and they just go fump, 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 fump. And that's all they do. That's their nature, is to go fast. They're racers. They've been racing, and they go. But the rest of the time we're kind of going, oh, did you see that koala? And they go, no, I didn't. Did you see that? Did you see that echidna? No, I didn't. All you see is a trail of dust. And then they go back again for more. And it's all about the wattage and the cadence. And it's just not about that for us.
Yeah, and we were talking about before that you can, it doesn't matter what you wear. I mean, like Michelle's wearing lycra.
Yeah,
you're wearing
my work clothes.
Your work clothes, and I'm just wearing just jean shorts and that. Like, so it doesn't, and I've got sneakers on today, so it doesn't really matter what you ride, what you wear, or what you ride. Really, it's just getting out there.
There's no peer pressure. Each to their own, and you know, if you haven't got the gear, you've got a couple of pocket straps that you can tie it onto. You do. You know, you don't need all the bags. You can do whatever you need to do. You know.
And you touched on before about the back wheel spinning out, and we'll cover that in some other episodes, like what it's like riding gravel, some techniques and skills. I'm not very good at going around corners because I'm so scared of skidding out, so I go so slow around corners, so we can talk about things like that. And and we'll do that in more episodes, so keep watching, and thank you, Andy.
Pleasure.
And thank you, Michelle.
Thanks.
Should we go for a ride?
Yeah, there we go.